something I wanted to mention earlier was I read a poem about an ugly person. Somebody who called themselves ugly wrote this poem, and they shared their experience. And they were basically, actually, it might not have been a poem. I don't remember what it was, but an ugly person was saying this, and they're like, you know what? I'm happy that I'm ugly because at least I know that everyone in my life that's in it, that's with me, is real. Because if I was really beautiful, I probably would have had fake friends. But another thing is that you talked about, these nepos that might be super attractive, but they just don't have it. Something I read, and of course, it's not true across the board, but it's that sometimes really attractive people don't develop their personalities as much because of pretty privilege. Things just kind of come their way, and so that personality development kind of
Oh,
atrophies. And of course, that's not true across the board, but that is a thing. So
dude,
I like how you mentioned that there. They just don't
no,
have it. They just don't have it.
that's a that's crazy, bro. That's such a good quote or point. I've never thought about that. It really does because you have this one redeeming quality, or you might be, I don't know, whatever it is, and that's all it takes. You formulate your whole personality around that, and that's it. People are always gonna flock to me because of so and so. And if I don't know. I've seen people like even people who live in who are still living in this high school sort of vacuum and because I was such and
A lot of
such.
those, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was a star in high school or I was this larger than life figure because I was good at a sport or I played basketball or whatever and they try to keep this image beyond high school. And then if something happens, they get injured or they lose something and they fall into this like depression or whatever because it's like, man, that was it. That's why people love me, right? That's why this happened. And I've lost that. And they can't really speak on anything else and they'll project and they'll get jealous of other friends or other people and they'll try to say like, oh, so and so was only this because of me, or they latched on, and I've experienced it, I've seen it. That's such a good point. They really they're the entire rest of their because the thing is, it's like I was never drawn to this person because they were so good at so and so, or because they met this. Ultimately, I gelled with them because I connected with them on this, and that, more nuance, more this, but because they only saw themselves in that box of attractiveness or whatever, that's all they fixated on. And it kind of evolves into the narcissism and all these other things. And they never truly learn how to emotionally regulate things or because they get everything they want. Dude, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. You made me think now.
No, you're right, man. It is wild, and
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I wish the best to those people. Everybody, doesn't matter who you are. Like, I feel like it's a responsibility as a human being to just develop your personality. We're always changing, and we gotta adapt to it. One thing I wanted to say to anybody young listening to this is that I remember when I was in K to 12, I thought that was reality. I thought that was my world. I thought that was real life, right? High school, especially, right? Like, oh, this is how things are. This is probably how they are in real life, too. Then you graduate and then you go to college and you realize, wait, like all that K to 12, that's not the real world. It's different. Things are different. People are different. Then you go to college, and for me, I was like, okay, so this must be reality. This is probably the real world. And then I graduate college and I realized, no, that wasn't it either. That was its own little, micro ecosystem. And now we're in the real world, you and me, and there's a lot to explore. It's a lot to learn. So my message to the young ones listening to this is, if it doesn't feel right now, if it doesn't feel good right now, well, a lot to look forward to.